So we're going to take a look at simplifying radicals. Let's start off with what are radicals. And my computer, for whatever reason, kind of does that. So go ahead and connect those lines. This is a radical. Okay, so your index or degree is a number that goes over here. Okay, so you'll either see like 3, 4, 5, whatever. You'll never see 2 because they assume you know that this means square root. So invisible 2, or you'll see 3, which is cube root. The radical itself is this shape right here, and the radicand is the number that goes inside, or the letters that go inside of there. All right, so now that we know the parts of a radical, let's go ahead and simplify this. All right, so please connect this radical. My computer again would not let me do it, so that's what it looks like. Now again, I mentioned before that they don't usually put this to 2. This means square root. Usually it'll be blank, and you need to know that that means square root. Okay, so now that we have that, it says write the prime factorization of the radicand. So we need to break 169 down by checking our prime number. So 2 doesn't work, 3 doesn't work, 5 doesn't work, 7 doesn't work, 11 doesn't work. 13 works. Okay, so 13 times 13. And because 13 is also prime, you don't need to go any further. Now, sometimes, let's go ahead and do it this way as well, just so that you know. Just always start off by putting your radical inside the calculator, because sometimes it's a perfect square, because I know 13 times 13 is 1. So sometimes I don't even have to do the question. So now I'm going to add the number outside the radical, which is a 2. And you see, it gives me an answer. It's actually 26. But I'm going to show you the steps on how to do it. Okay. So I'm going to write what's outside 2, leave a space, and then write square root of, and instead of 169, my prime factorization, which is 13 times 13. Now the question you need to ask yourself is, how many make a book? Determine the index. So again, remember the index is right over here. This number over here is going to tell you how many cards make a book. So how many cards make a book? 2 cards make a book, which means I should be taking out 2 numbers. That's going to make how many books? 1 book. Okay, so if you're not in my class, obviously I have no idea what I'm talking about. For you, you might have heard you're taking out the twins, because 2 means 2 people who look alike. These 2 people look alike inside your mom's house. Your mom knows exactly who you are. Your brothers, your other sisters know who you are. However, when twins go outside, they look exactly the same to the rest of the population. So my twins look like one person. Or if you're doing it with, you're in class with me, you know that 2 cards make how many books? 1 book. Okay. So now you have 2 times 13, which is going to give you 26. Again, that would have been really fast if you just typed it into the calculator. So our first step is actually going to be type it into the calculator. So we're going to just say a note here, type into Desmos. That's going to be step number 1, because we could have just saved a lot of time. All right, so this result, is it rational or irrational? Well, remember, for it to be rational, you can write it as a fraction of what? Integers, or its whole number. So this is rational. Why? Because it can, all right, because we can write it as a ratio of 2 integers. And again, let me just show you, 26 divided by 1 is still 26. That's a ratio of 2 integers. And its decimal expansion does terminate or repeat, because it's like 26.0. Or you can look at it as 26.00000 repeating. So either way, it's fine. All right, so now I've done example 1. Can you do example 2? And I'll start you off with example 2 because it has variables. So again, the process is the same. Write the prime factorization of the radicand. The only thing is we also have letters. So as you are breaking this down, I'm going to break this down. What does x cubed mean? It's x times x times x. Multiplication. What does y to the 5th power mean? Y times y times y times y times y. All right. You're going to go break 28 down, and I'm going to start you off with this. You're going to do 2, leave a space, whatever your 28 prime factorization is, and then for me, I have x times x times x, and then y times y times y times y times y. Okay, and again, what is this index so that you can know how many cards make a book? Okay, how many make a book? 2, invisible 2. So 2 cards make a book. While you're doing your numbers, which we've already done, I'm going to do my letters. So 2 cards make how many books? 1. So you should have some numbers out here as well. I'm just doing the variables. 2, there's only 1 x, so they're not twinning. Here are twins right here. Okay, so 2 cards make what? 1 book, or a twin looks the same outside to everybody else. Do I have any more twins? I do. Or 2 cards make what? 1 book. So there's my other twin. All right. So now I have, you should again take out your pairs or your twins or your books out here. So you should have numbers. You're going to go ahead and multiply the numbers inside and the numbers outside of the radical separately. So you're going to multiply the numbers outside that you have made books with. So it'll give you a number, and then you'll have an x, and then how many y's do you have? 2 of them. The way you write that, y times y is y squared. All right, then you're going to have cube root. I don't know what you have left in terms of your numbers, but I have left in my variables an x and a y. So again, I'm just doing the non-number one as you do the numbers. Okay, so whether they give you one with variables or without variables, the process is very much the same. Let's practice.